season. This is Viv's wash spot. She's been carrying a little feed-in bag at a time, getting ready for deer season here. And thought I'd come out tonight and see if there's any deer come in. She's been busy. I made rocks, I miss potatoes. Salt Lick, rye patch down in there. She's been busy. She's wondering, she said, do you think we got enough stuff? And I said, well, we'll see if they eat that up first. So we'll see if anything comes in here tonight. We just chased a nice little buck out on the way in, so we'll see. Terrible looking thing. She looks better when the season opens, don't you, Viv? Huh? What do you think?
Well, it could be a good one, could be a nice one, it could be a bad one. We'll find out.
You want to?
But how's your team going?
Well, our team's doing all right this year.
Your team is doing. Yeah, I guess we'll hold those up here together. You guys hunt up in Marquette County, and an interesting thing that I wanted to hear about this is you use two-way radios.
That's correct.
All the time. Okay,
Yep.
Now a lot of people say, well, that isn't really fair, you know, because you're using radios and electronics. However, there's a big downside to two-way radios. While you're sitting there and the deer's coming in and, hey, Bob, you know, all that business.
That's correct. We have a lot of that happen to us, believe it or not.
Well, no, I believe it because I've been
Check
with
good.
hunters.
Check good. Look around before you talk.
Yeah, but you can't tell who you're talking to, and you're...
I'm talking to my brother or my son, either one, and we know what we're doing. That's the way we keep touch. That's why we get bucks like this continuously. We scout and move. Well, we go for the day. We fanny pack in for the day, and we're in for the day. We come out at 8 o'clock at night pulling these two bucks out, take you back to camp till 10 o'clock. That's common for us. We're in the woods at daylight, and we're in the woods when it's dark.
So you do not have blinds that you set up and stay in?
No, we don't set up no blinds, no baiting. We're not against it, but we like to set the runways, walk the ridges, push for each other. The three of us work for each other all the time. My son and my brother drove this nice buck right to me, going down and scouting away to get that 12 point out that he shot just an hour and a half prior to that.
I want to see what this is like. I want to see what I want to see what this is like. Okay, you know, like I'm telling my story. Okay,
How's it feel?
we're trying to get that buck over there, and that one was coming by, and I got this one, and then I shot in front of this one and scared it around the hill. So that one, yeah, the Kasubas do this, and then I put this under my arm and called on the radio. Jeez, you guys,
We're busy,
you're busy out
but we're
there.
happy out there.
But when we got horns, we can't talk with our hands. Otherwise, it'd be dangerous up here for you. You know.
But so there's three of you, and you got three radios.
Yeah.
Now, what do you say to each other? You know, like when you're calling, you go, psst, hey, Bob.
You won't believe this. My son leaves his on all the time, and I'm most of the time I do too. He's the guy that we have trouble getting contact with. But I'll tell you when he comes on, when he finds a sign, knows what's going on comes the radio. Vern and I get in position, and things start happening.
So you find a fresh sign. Were you always hunting snow or what?
Well, whenever we can. What happened here, for an example, is he shot this one opening day.
Here we go again. Okay, watch.
I shot this one opening day.
We were pretty happy about that.
We were very satisfied at the time. So the Sunday after that, which was 7 days later, I sat on the spot where he got this one.
This one?
And I sat there till 9 o'clock, and I got a little nervous, and I walked up on the mountain behind me, and I seen some real nice deer sign.
Was it that one?
Well, I'm going to guess it was this one. And I called on the radio. I said, you won't believe this, but I see a hell of a track. So I start dogging this one around, and I come up on him down a skid row, and I look up, and about 180 yards off, he's standing right broadside. And I pull up my gun like that, and I'm standing.
Look at this. Look at
Hey,
this.
no horns at the
Full of
time.
antlers, yeah.
I squeezed the trigger like that, and I watched my bolt go clunk. It didn't fire, and the deer like that, and it took off full blast. I racked the shell like that, shot again, and the deer stopped behind a big tree, and I saw its neck, about that much of its neck. And I said, it's now or never. Let him have it, and down he went. 190 yards I paced off. And when I got up on this deer here laying there, I was kind of excited and really enjoying myself. And I looked around on the deer sign and I said, oh my God, there's bigger tracks yet. So I called my brother on the radio, and I said, you won't believe this. I said, but I got one down, but you should see the tracks of the deer that was with them. And he said, okay, I'll set up here. And I started looking for a place to pull this one out. And I'm going down the Skid Row looking for a place. And I hear a shot up on the hill where John's sitting. He gets on the radio. He says, yours better be pretty big, Bob, because you ought to see mine. So this is what happened.
If there's much more to this story, I'm going to call in for a helmet.
There's no end to it, Fred.
There's no end to it?
No.
37 years of hunting.
40 years for me. I shot my first buck exactly 2.5 miles from where I got these two deer just 40 years ago.
I bet you have a big mountain of antlers at home.
Well,
Quite a
we
few.
do, yes.
Yeah.
These 4 bucks right here this year were shot within a quarter of a mile of each other. These 2 bucks were shot within 150 yards of each other.
And what about these two?
Within a quarter of a mile of each other.
Yeah,
Yeah.
all in the
Okay.
same area.
Yeah. But some days, we might be hunting in a place like that, Fred, and 2 days later, we might be 25 miles from there, honestly.
Yeah.
Hunting another area. We go scouting and looking for sign.
Yeah.
We stayed and hunted the whole season after we filled our permits
Scouting.
with a cam recorder, scouting for next year. The whole season.
Do you
don't
guys...
give up, just
Now,
because we
tell-
don't
Of course, hoping my son would pick up one while we were hunting, but he didn't. But
Now, one last question. Do you have one of those radio things like their operators have for the
No.
telephones?
No, we
or
don't.
Garth Brooks with the little microphone and all?
nothing like that.
Huh?
Usually,
That is a good... He likes that idea.
really, us Kasubas don't need the radios. We got enough volumes. When something like this happens, we don't really need the radios.
Hey, you guys tell a great story. Okay, watch it
Good
now.
time. Yep.
Congratulations on
We really
that.
enjoyed ourselves here today,
Hey,
too.
great job. What a story. Venison lovers, here is a platter. What's called Snake's Grilled Venison.
Fred Trost Practical Sportsman is brought to you by D.L. Kessler & Sons Construction, specializing in residential development and commercial construction since 1977.
And when I got the permit, I called the Kazubos. You know, I hooked up with those guys there.
Are you serious?
Yes, I am serious.
Did you call them on the phone or use your radio?
No, I called them on the phone.
Okay.
I picked up the phone and called John's uncle, Lou. I called Lou Kazubo, and I had Lou and his other brother, Cham, as my guides. And believe it or not, it went like this, because I called Lou, and I told him, because I shot this buck about the last day before the season, and I called Lou, and I said, Lou, you got to find me a nice pole, because I just shot a 14-point buck. So Lou called Cham, his brother, and Cham called Ed, one of the other brothers. And next thing I know, Ed is on my doorstep, knocking on the door. He said, where is this big buck? I said, well, here it is in a barn. So I took Ed in the barn and showed him the buck, and Ed went back home and called Lou, and Lou called Cham. And they got Bob and John on the radio. And, and they
I
said-
believe it.
And they said, you won't believe the
You won't
the buck-
believe
the
this.
buck
Yeah.
That's down there. So that's how it went, and I got kind of tangled up with the Kazubos.
You're tangled up with the Kazuba.
Yeah.
Okay. Humayun Egbalian, originally from Iran. Last year he got a trophy buck, a trophy elk, and even jabbed a TV host in the right temple. Yeah, let's get this oak rack up here so we can get a shot of this thing.
Ouch. Did I get you right?
Did you get me right? You just about got me with a double, man.
That's a good one.
Yeah, you've been hanging around the Kazubas too long.
Yes.
State Representative
There's a guy ready to go hunting, deer hunting.